Hi, this is Mr. Pereira, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about accommodation versus conflict as you're looking at Europeans interacting with Native Americans, particularly during the 16th and 17th centuries. So, the concept of conflict, I think most of us understand. It's that idea of two parties or two groups going at each other, fighting, going to war or whatever. But accommodation, we need to think about that sometimes they try to get along or even help each other out. And you want to think about ways in which they did that. And so when we think of conflict, we might think of something like King Philip's War or maybe the Pueblo Revolt. I think when we think of the first generation of the Pilgrims and working with the natives in the first Thanksgiving, we think of that as an example of accommodation. The other thing you want to think about with conflict and accommodation is why that is happening. Is it over land? Is it over hunting rights? How is that different for the English versus the Spanish versus the French versus the Dutch? And finally, how do they do that? Are we talking warfare? Are we talking trade? So those are kind of the things you want to think about. But I think some of us don't really think about the idea of accommodation a whole lot. We think mostly of the conflict, but want you to be able to see both as you move forward.